Welcome to Fashionable Trash Talk. I'm your host, Aliyah, where we discuss all things fashion. Don't forget to subscribe. Hey guys, welcome to season 2, episode 67. This is how I would style Bree Runway if she were my client. This is a YouTube request. Now, I have to admit that I did not know who she was prior to someone bringing her up to me, and she is actually another UK artist, so I guess we can call this the UK invasion this week because I just did the group Flow. Now, I have a few opinions about Bree's style, and how can I put this? I know what she's trying to give. I know what people probably perceive her style as, but I also know what's really going on. I feel like Bree Runway is a lot of smoke and mirrors, and it's a lot of nothing going on while looking like she's doing more than what she's actually doing. And I have to say, I've seen a lot of the discourse online, specifically the TikTok platform, speaking about the African-American influence and the Black British experience and stuff like that, and how Black British people kind of get a lot of their style and culture from African-Americans, but don't want to properly credit them. And traditionally, I stay out of those type of conversations because, again, I'm an African American and I love our culture here, but I also have a love for the UK. Excuse me, London is one of my favorite places to visit internationally. So I kind of stay out of those conversations, but I have to say, I think Bree Runway is a perfect example of how much she takes from African American culture in her fashion. And it's not to say that she doesn't credit it, because I have seen her with African American artists on her page when I was doing my deep dive of research. But what I mean is that it's a lot of it being done without a proper understanding of it, if that makes sense. And so her style to me gives a regurgitation of any African-American artist that she's seen and has been inspired by. But it's not being properly executed, and you also can't really find who she is amongst all the chaos. And I think this is something, and the girls may not like it, but I think this is something that is very typical of Scorpio women. I think a lot of Scorpio women, when they truly admire someone and kind of look up to them, sometimes, if not corrected and a little unevolved, they will try to morph into that person, regardless if it's consciously or subconsciously. But yeah, Bree Runway, like someone had notated that a lot of her music videos, Missy Elliott style inspires her a lot. And I think also they're trying to do their Doechii formula with her. And I also think Doechii is a culprit of, taking a little bit of this and taking a little bit of that and kind of creating an identity based off of a foundation that other people have built in the industry. And I think they tried to do that with Bree Runway, but I don't think it landed well, which is probably why some people may know her, but on a grander scale of things, she hasn't really made as much traction, because if we have the real things here, why would we need her? And I'm saying it as respectfully as possible. And I would love to see more girls start with being inspired, but morph into having their own style. Because even with the hair, it's like the hair is out there, but it never seems fitting to her. Like they always look wiggy, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't look like, how can I put it? With Missy Elliott, Kim, Left Eye, Khalees, I'm just trying to think about like a couple. I know I'm missing people, so y'all don't beat me up. But I'll even say Rico Nasty, a lot of the alternative girls here, oh my God, what is the girl name who worked with Raphael Sadiq? I can't think of her name. Is it Dawn? It's something, but she also had kind of that style too. But it's like when you go left with the hairstyles with African Americans and they're still out there and crazy, they still look good. Like they're still executed well. And I could kind of put Cardi in there a little bit too, because I think Tokyo kind of gets very adventurous with her hairstyles at time. But the core of it is that it's still executed well. Where Bree Runway, it's like you're doing these out there hairstyles, but they kind of look like helmets on your head. Like they don't look good. Like they look out there and crazy, like, oh, she's doing something different. But it doesn't have that same execution as African American hairstylist does when they do those type of things. So, like I said, I can respect and I can appreciate where she's trying to go. But I think there is a lot of fine tuning that needs to be done in order to get her there. And then another thing I've noticed is that, again, amongst all the stuff that she's doing to try to seem different and out there, she's actually doing something that is actually a real problem amongst people right now that the girls are having an issue with, which is a lot of the influencer girls sourcing these vintage pieces or these basic pieces and not really doing much with them and wearing it in basic ways. And she's doing the same thing. She's getting these vintage pieces, and I think she thinks because it's not the exact same style that the influencer girls are doing, that she's doing something different, when all actuality you're getting these vintage pieces and you're still putting a bunch of bullshit with it. It's just not influencer bullshit, it's just other bullshit you're putting with it, and the look is still not landing in being put together well or being executed well. And then I also think excuse me, that dark-skinned women are having a moment in the industry right now where there is starting to be a love of appreciation for them that traditionally wasn't there historically before. And I also fully think that she's capitalizing off that too. I think a lot of the girls are. I feel like a lot of the girls are being able to slip through the cracks with being perceived as more fashionable than what they actually are because of the deep-rooted desire of dark skin representation in the industry. So a lot of the girls aren't being held accountable or being called out in ways that they probably would have in the past because the girls are just so desperate for representation, and rightfully so. But I don't think a lot of the girls are being held to the same fire as they should. And I think the same thing can be said for the light-skinned girlies in the industry too. But that's just something that I noticed overall as well. But let's get into it. This is how I would style Bree Runway if she were my client. Okay, for the makeup, I want her in the out there, crazy, very creative type of makeup looks, which is already kind of in her ballpark, but I just wanted her to kick it up a few notches. I don't want to make her look normal at all. I just wanted to pretty much create some fine tuning and a more cohesive look for Bree Runway, because sometimes I think she's can go really left and adventurous and alternative, and then it's on the other side doing something else like Instagram baddie. And I don't think it's an issue with having versatility within your style, but I do think when you are a star and a performer and an artist, I said this in other videos, I do think it is important to try to give your fans and the people a style and a look that they can follow, if I'm making sense. But I think these makeup looks will look so good on Bree Runway. For the hair, I love that she already does the adventurous hairstyles. However, even with some of the looks I was finding, I was like, these are cute, but I wish they were just done a little bit better. And I was able to find some hairstyle inspiration that kind of had that African-American hairstylist twist to it, like where it's just like, it's out there, but it's still done cute, because I feel like some of the looks, as I stated, like they be out there, but they look a little too wiggy sometimes. So take some of these looks with a grain of salt, in the sense of, I love the creativity behind them. I think they would be cute on her, but just picture it and imagine it with a hairstylist, like a black hairstylist that's like doing it real good. Like, if I'm making sense. But I would not want her to wear normal hair at all. I would love for her hair to stay as creative as it has been. I actually would take it up a notch to make it a little bit more creative and to be a little bit more adventurous with the different hair colors, the different type of hairstyles, kind of mixing some braids in there and mohawks and, just all that jazz. I would just want her to have really fun hair and especially play with color a lot more. For this first look, again, I wanted to keep the style boards authentic to what Bree Runway style is. Like, I don't want to change her style, as I already said. I just wanted to make it more cohesive and kind of make it a little like easier to follow what her personal style is. So I thought this top, actually I started with the pants. When it comes to women who like to dress a bit edgier, I love putting them in menswear, and I thought these men's pants were super cool, and I thought if anyone could rock these, Bree Runway would be able to. And then I found this cool top that looked like biker gloves, like a biker glove type of bra top, and I felt like that paired really well with the pants. And then I did these cute red fur boots because, again, I wanted everything to be very much out there, creative, kind of pieces that you traditionally wouldn't pair together. I thought would be super cool to put with this outfit. And that's kind of why I did those glasses, because I didn't want to do anything that was too pretty. I wanted it to be edgy, rock starish, very in that alternative type of lane, but still very fashionable. And I thought this Balenciaga bag was so funny and cute to kind of pair with this look, because it's just all these pieces put together that you traditionally wouldn't see together, but somehow the look still works. So I had a lot of fun putting this look together. For this next look, funny enough, I seen one of her pictures where she wore a top that was similar to like this jacket. It might be the same one, but I don't think so. It just looks very similar. But I also wanted to give nods to her simpler looks that she does, while still honoring that part of her that likes to be different and likes to be creative, but also likes to give fashion. So I started off with this jacket, and then I thought these jeans would be perfect because it's denim, and in ways denim can be simple, but as you see, like the exaggerated cuffs at the bottom and then the splits at the top on the denim, which made it like cool and different. And then I paired these Prada heels with this because they are actually burgundy and not brown. And I just thought it still worked, but it was just a touch of doing something unconventional, because traditionally you wouldn't pair a pair of burgundy slingback Prada pumps with a look like this. And then, honestly, it was easy. The handbag and the headband were easy because Prada made it easy. And it paired together perfectly with the jacket. So you still have, like, this fashionable look that has so many pieces that are not traditional, while still giving very much a kind of more laid-back fashion look, but it still eats. It's like, I think when I speak of, like, effortless fashion, this is like an outfit that just gives effortless, but it's still very fashionable. For this look, I can't lie, the blazer is menswear, and when I saw David Bowie, I was like, oh my God, this would be a perfect look to put together for Bree Runway. And so I will wear this blazer open. I would pair it with the bra just to add like that touch, of red and sexiness and femininity with a piece that is more structured for a man's physique. I thought these hot pants shorts were so fire and will be so on brand for Bree Runway.
And again, paired with this blazer, I just thought it was just so cute. And then I did the logo stockings because of the pumps that I decided to pair with it. I thought a stocking was needed, especially with like how the shorts are. I don't know. I felt like not putting stockings would have been a missed opportunity for such a high fashion type of look that was different from what you traditionally see. And I thought this handbag was really cool to pair with this because everything is just so different. And it's just not a traditional outfit that you would see. But, you know, and I, like with this look, I can picture just one of like those fashionable but crazy hairstyles and makeup looks with that, like some like electric blue eyeshadow. I know I can just see so much with this look, but I felt like this was very creative and very on brand for her. For this next look, I seen the dress first, and I was like, if I'm going to put Bree Runway in a dress, I want the dress silhouette to be something so different from what we traditionally see. And I feel like she has the range to pull something like this off. Now, I'm traditionally against styling Black women in purples because it's just always a go-to for people, purple and yellow. I be getting so bored and so tired with it, but in this case I felt like the purple worked and will look amazing with her skin tone. I found these cool Versace cloth boots that I felt paired perfectly with this and would just give it such edge but still that fashion piece, that high fashion piece to it. And the Chanel bag, bracelet, and earrings, I felt just tied everything together. And honestly, this color palette kind of reminds me of 90s Versace type of energy, honestly, truly in that Chanel era where Chanel was taking a lot more risk with colors and silhouettes. So I really like this outfit, and I thought it really gave like that high fashion type of feel. Again, here's another dress look for Bree Runway. But again, if I'm going to put her in a dress, I wanted to do something that was nothing like what the girls are doing. And I felt like this was another dress that was super cool. I love the print. I love the silhouette. I love the deep cut in the front. I found these shoes, and I was like, these shoes are fire, fire. And I was like, these would be perfect for her. And I decided to do some stockings, well, technically around the suspender tights, but I felt like I didn't want to do a bare leg look with this, but I felt like where the dress probably will fall on Bree Runway, you would get the full effect of the suspender tights detailing at the top, and then have those type of stockings going into these type of shoes would be fire. I felt like this Balenciaga clutch was also on point because I don't think a lot of girls have the range to rock a clutch like this, but I feel like Bree Runway does. And I just felt like it would be the perfect handbag to make a dress like this continue to look high fashion. And then these Poochie frames I felt like were perfect because it's a different print than what is in the dress, but it still works because the color palettes are similar. And I just love pairing things together that people wouldn't even expect to go together. But again, like for Bree Runway, I never wanted to change that different perspective that she has on fashion. I just wanted it to be more fashionable and not as chaotic and a bit different from what her base inspiration is. These pants were actually the first pair of pants that I picked out for her. A pair of men's overalls. I thought these were super cute. This is the last look for her. I was like, oh, these are just so different. And I was like, I would love to challenge myself and style these in a way. Because they do, although they have a bunch of colors, they do kind of give a little bit more masculine. But that's why I paired it with this corset. Because I felt like the corset was just, I feel like it gave like a nod at Madonna and both Grace Jones. And it was just sexy and powerful and exude femininity. So I felt like it would provide the perfect balance with a pant leg that had such masculine energy to it. And then I felt like the Roberto Cavalli sandal heels would be perfect for this, again, to add that touch of femininity. This handbag was perfect because I also, again, between the handbag and the sunglasses, I felt like added that edge and kind of like that avant-garde-esque type of feel to the look. Like, you know, I love pairing pieces, as I said many of times, pieces that you would not traditionally see with the look. I love bringing those things together and making it just look amazing. And I love looks that look like you kind of shopped your closet and it was effortless. And I feel like this looks gives that. So overall, guys, this is how I would style Bree Runway if she were my client. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any requests, please do not hesitate to leave them in the comments. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to my channel. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next episode.
Follow me on LTK to shop all of my style boards. Make sure you follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok at Ashley2_Aliyah, and you also can shop my account as well. To book me for styling services, you can visit my website, www.ashleyaliyah.com. To shop my boutique, you can visit www.richbitchcollection.com. If you are in Philadelphia, Delaware, the counties around Philadelphia, or New Jersey area, you can book me for makeup services at www.sincerelyashleyb.com, and you also can shop my cosmetic line. Thank you for watching my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my playlist to binge watch my videos.